So I am my own client. So you know. What did I do for it? Okay. So I put in. Checking this right here. I put in my appeal and my complete letter together and had it summarized. Okay, and then I wrote, so how does this apply to civil law? Ding, 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 ding. Ding, ding, ding. Ding, ding, ding. Hmm. So then I uploaded my my complaint letter The one that was for Maura and I both, because it involved her best interest as well. And I said, add this complaint to appeal brief and summarize. So basically everything they had just said, add this and summarize. So this is what they came up with. The most important part. And that last part is probably the most near and dear to my heart, not only for my daughter, but for all the other children who have been hurt by Union County, specifically Judge Hucks, Judge Aaron Hucks. But I would really like to see this all across America. I mean, internationally, but I mean, it can only do so much. It's not okay to attack protective parents when they say no because they know their life better than anyone. I know my life. I know my daughter. I knew my ex, my ex's mother, my family. I knew better than anyone. And I said no and gave them very good reason for saying no. I said no for a damn good reason. I know how abusive all these people are. I didn't want them around my daughter. I didn't want them around me. And DSS decided to just do whatever they wanted to. They didn't want to hear anything I had to say. And they just decided, oh, well, you know what? We mess up so bad. Let's just do the Darvo technique. And we'll just blame everything on Kelly. But you know how there's undercover brothers? I've been an undercover mother because I have been saving every bit of evidence. And I'm not saying I did everything right. I definitely had some choice words for some of these people. Wasn't very kind of me. I was literally just didn't care, which wasn't good. But when you're being dehumanized and you're being humiliated, harassed, like it's bound that you're gonna lash out. You know, you poke that bear so much, the bear's gonna lash out, and I don't feel very good about that at all. But I've admitted to that. I've been very honest with everyone, and including myself, about that. Um, but it doesn't even bear any. It's not even close to what was done to my daughter and I. Not even close. And although I had some choice words, what I was saying was true. Stop treating me like I'm dead. Stop invalidating me as a mother. Stop, unlawfully doing all these things that are not lawful and then not allowing me any representation or a chance even in the court to defend myself. I mean, and this goes for the eviction, the property theft, the restraining orders, all of it. There was no due process. And as an undercover mother, as I like to say, I videotaped everything. And I was sending it to the Department of Justice, sending it to the Attorney General, sending it to the Attorney General. I mean, even like, I opened a letter that was like a restraining order, a fake restraining order. Later I found out. But I did all of it. I did it on Facebook. I did it, I have it in my Google Photos. I documented every bit of this horrific situation. And it wasn't really, I guess it was like to tell on them because it was so horrible. But I've also been documenting it because as I've learned throughout this whole situation, this is a national problem. This is not just something that happens in Union County, and I'm not going to say it happens in every town or county across America, but I've heard so many horror stories, even worse than mine. Even worse than mine. And I'm very open about my mental illness. I'm very open about my childhood sexual violence. I'm very open about all of that because I feel as though maybe it can help someone else who might be silent or who might be having a struggle of their own and they really don't know how to talk about it or deal with it. I'm hoping that my story, my testimony, if you will help others understand that there is healing after any kind of abuse. It doesn't matter what kind of situation you have been in your life and what has occurred to you and what the outcome was. There is healing for it. There's healing for it when you decide that you're going to heal. It's really what it is. All in your mind. It's so important. And I know more than anyone, I mean, I've had many, and I still do. I have my moments of pity parties. I have my moments of, oh, it's ever going to get better, all this other stuff. And that's when I turn to God. And I'll tell you, I was beefing with God when this all happened. As part of my pity party situation, like, why would God do this to me? I'm such a good person. I mean, my daughter didn't do anything. How could this happen to her? Why would God put her in this, put us in this situation? And I guess I'm still not quite sure about all that, but I have faith. I have faith. I trust the process. I know that when God is ready to reveal that to me, He will. And perhaps I'm just not ready for it yet. Perhaps I'm not strong enough for it. God knows me better than I know me. So you have to trust in God to be there for you, to lay all your burdens on Him, because I'm telling you, nobody can bear all this. No human being can do this alone. So I think that's my ultimate message in all this to all the other parents that are struggling out there, who have had this happen to them, who just wanted to protect their children, just said no because they knew their life better than DSS or HHS. And especially for those 350,000, yes, I said 350,000 missing children from foster care. No matter what has happened to you, you do have the ability to heal. There's so much out there. We have come such a long way. I know in my own, journey in the past 25 years with mental health, we have come so far. And although there's a lot of people out there who, are fake and they're life coaches or whatever, there are so many more professionals out there who actually do have the experience, and they also have the outcomes, the positive outcomes, and that's what you need to look for. I had a therapist for so long who didn't understand CPTSD. My therapist now will guide me, will challenge me, and my progress has been significant ever since I changed to a therapist that understood complex trauma and family abuse and domestic abuse. Because a lot of times when you're grown up in an abusive situation, you turn to a partner or husband or a wife who is abusive. It's pretty standard, pretty normal. A lot of people will turn to substances or alcohol or misusing medication, things of that nature. It's all totally normal, but it's totally not good, because you can't begin to heal or go through your therapeutic journey if you're all jacked up on drugs or you're getting drunk every day, because those substances they kind of make your feels come out, and they'll also ignite your rage, because much of this stuff wasn't fair. None of this was fair to Maura. Certainly not to Maura. None of it was fair to me either, but I always think of her first. None of this was fair. So there's going to be a lot of understandable anger and rage. But at the end of the day, all those things are easy to heal. And the biggest part of it is bringing God, and it doesn't even have to be necessary if you're just spiritual, meditate. Bring something bigger than you, or anything that will help you besides drugs, alcohol, and popping pills, that helps you relieve yourself of the undue burden that's really not your cross to bear. Because I know I have generations of shame in me that I've been just shucking. A lot of that shame was my mom's shame, her mom's shame, her mom's shame. Same thing goes on my dad's side. My dad's mom, my dad's dad, all of that is passed down generation, similar to parental alienation. It's a generational disease, but it's one that can be cured with information, with knowledge. But the biggest part of all of this is you have to want to do it. You have to want to do it. You have to sign up and be all in. And there is hope. There is hope at the end of this rainbow. You have to be obnoxious. You have to keep fighting, keep filing your complaints, keep, like I say, it's put on your boxing gloves and hit them from every angle. And I don't mean that in a violent way. I mean that in a way that it will make change happen, because if we get them in the pocketbook, if we get them, if we get them in every which way, they have to change it. They have to. I mean, people are all making so much money off of this. Well, if we deplete the money, take the money out of it, there'd be no more use of using parents this way and doing this and creating all this conflict that is harming children. It just is. People are making money off of children getting hurt, whether it's in foster care or family court. It's not okay. It never was okay. But if we hit them from every angle, I mean, we're talking, the civil rights complaints, the human rights complaints, the just constitutional right complaints. They can't take all of us at once. And if we all keep doing that, they're going to have to go, mercy, mercy, right? I mean, they're going to have to put up the white flag because we're going to be taking more of that resources away from them. They're not going to be getting rich. They're going to be in debt because of it. And there's going to be towns in debt. Taxes are going to go up. All of that. It's about to happen in Union County, no doubt. But at the end of the day, I'm not going to feel bad for any of that because I can assure you, I have made so many complaints at the county level, the state level. I have contacted all the Board of Commissioners. I have contacted all the people at DSS at the state level, the county level. Then I went federal level. They could have stopped this on the day it started, and they chose not to. And that is unacceptable. This all could have been prevented a long time ago because the constituent's office, they're the ones that you go to complain for DSS. She's in Raleigh, and she's all over every county in North Carolina. She had a duty to protect my daughter and I. She had a duty to go to them and say, hey, but more than that, she had a duty to report it to the legislators and to the General Assembly and to the Attorney General's office and to the governors, and she did not. I'm talking about Miss Greta Gill. So, I mean, I even contacted Julie Cronin, who is the DSS, North Carolina DHHS attorney. They have all known about this case for, oh boy, today is 622, so at least 620 days. I started contacting them right after this happened because nothing made sense to me. So there's that.